Hello, Nicholas here, and man, I'm just now noticing how much hair I've got going on. My Ayurveda teacher used to say, hair everywhere, and he would say, you are a kapha, Kapha. That's from Ayurveda. But anyway, this is Nicholas, and I am here with DIVO-Ted Talks, Devoted Talks, whatever you want to call it. So, my friends, I'm so glad you're here, and yeah, this has been the longest I've been able to be consistent with getting into a routine of filming and a routine of systemizing my life, and it's been great. I had been in this toss and turn with the wind type deal. In Ayurveda, we would call that vata. But I was all over the place. I had clients here and clients there, and I had to drive to get there, and I had to, work odd hours. And one day I was here at this time, and another day it was this, and it was unpredictable, which is also a characteristic of Vata. And as a Kapha person, that's very ungrounding, even though we are very grounded individuals and very grounded constitution of the doshic scale. And I can feel how this routine is building or giving me that routine and that freedom in structure and freedom in frameworks. So I am really embracing that. And I know I talked about that in an earlier podcast episode, but really it's coming home to roost. And it might have been in Ayurveda Digested. If you haven't yet, check out Ayurveda Digested. It's where me and Bridge break down ancient wisdom, Ayurveda, digesting it into relevant ways of thinking and understanding in the modern world. It's fantastic and it's really good, and we would love to have you there as well. So Ayurveda Digested on your favorite podcast provider. So back to this topic, as a kapha person, hair everywhere, I am really starting to see me leaning towards kaphic ways of being, like familiarity, comfort, eating the things I want to eat, doing the things I want to do when I want to, trying to potentially get out of things that I may have committed to previously, but at the current moment, I try to be judicious in the way I talk. I try to say maybe if I mean maybe, and I don't know yet if I don't know yet. And I try to be as clear as possible when I'm giving people responses to different things, like requests for me to be somewhere or to do something or to collaborate or whatever. And so that helps me stay in my truth. That's how I stay sattvic. I say exactly what I mean. If it's a I don't know, I don't know. And if it's a maybe, it's a maybe. Right? My favorite is when people used to say, oh, a maybe is a no. And I'm like, no, a maybe is a maybe. But it does make me less likely to want to if you already prejudged my response. But anyway, what does this all mean for Devo? What does this all mean for a modern understanding of ancient wisdom? It means that we have tendencies that are related to our doshas, and we, with good awareness and regular meditation and taking time to go inward, will allow us to understand why we're leaning that way or the other, or how that impacts what our overall day is going to be like, our overall week, our overall month. And so we start to see the clues beforehand instead of at the last minute being like, oh my gosh, I don't know why that happened. Right? If you are very uncertain about why you're reacting certain ways and why things have turned out the way they have turned out, to me that just shows a lack of practice, a lack of routine, a lack of self-reflection. I mean, that kind of goes without saying. It's obviously not reflective if you don't know what's really going on with you. But how do we do that? Consistency, it's that dinacharya, it's that daily routine, right? Freedom within frameworks, or freedom within the structure of what you're doing. And man, I am so good at structure once I have built it, but it has been hard to build it since I opened the studio. And previously, coming from a grin and bear it type schedule where I just had to roll and I had to go and I had to find my way and just see if I make it. And it worked for a while, but it eventually just continuously left me ungrounded. And that is where this has come in. Instead of expecting myself to completely land the plane and be grounded and ready to go again, it's taking a lot longer than I thought, but that's because I'd spent enough time ungrounded that my body's like, whoa, 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 that's not what we're used to. Because we adapt to what we get used to or what we're frequently exposed to. And so I was adapted to being all over the place and crazy. But you know what that led to? My body wanting to pack on more kapha, wanting to pack on more comfort and structure and familiarity. And so I had comfort foods and I had some more stillness as a reaction to the activity or the actions I was partaking in. When in reality, if I was a bit more, as I said previously, judicious, or if I was a bit more aware, I might have been able to see where I could get the groundedness in the moment so that I didn't have to basically take it out on credit and pay back escrow. And so, how does that formulate to our lives? It formulates to, if you don't have a regular practice, you are doing yourself a disservice. If you don't have regular reflection, you are not going to be able to see yourself clearly. If you do not take time to really get clear and get clean, head to toe detoxification, you're not ever going to be able to perform at your optimum, or you're not going to find that vitality, right? Like plants growing in a crack on the sidewalk is amazing and it's a fantastic feat, but it's going to be stuck within the confines of those inputs. But it is still choosing to survive in an environment in which it landed and had no other choice. A lot of the environments that we land in, we have a choice, consciously or not, before we enter in, and or if we finally realize that we're in them, we can choose to exit them. And that is the magic of yoga, the magic of awareness, and the magic of transformation. You can choose to pick yourself up and move yourself to a different environment, or you can change the environment qualities that you are participating in, right? If it's a dry environment, you can add more water, right? Like during the winter, I have this beautiful water feature inside my house, and it does great because it helps the plants get moisture, but it also helps me maintain moisture. So I don't need humidifiers to help prevent any drying and cracking of my sinuses and skin and things of that nature. Goodness. So what is the crux of this message? You are a beautiful creation with beautiful characteristics, and life is going to be what life is, but we choose how we show up and where we place ourselves, or the nourishment or lack thereof that we give ourselves. And my wish for you is to find all of these in your life as soon as possible, for better or for worse. So, my friends, this is Nicholas with DIVO-Ted Talks, DIVO-Ted Talks, and I'll see you on the next episode.